This week on Scam School, we prove that you are unbalanced, says the hypocrite. This episode of Scam School brought to you by Domain.com. Welcome to the show that suspects you could do magic for things besides beer, but wouldn't recommend it. Scam School, the only show dedicated to social engineering at the bar and on the street. Howdy, beautiful folks, I'm Brian Brushwood, and this week we are back at the Spider House, where we're gonna learn how to balance the world, or at least a very small part of the world.
Oh, look at women!
Yeah. All right, guys. I got a challenge for you.
Okay.
It's not very mathy, it's not very sciencey, but it's something that that genuinely puzzled me. Imagine you have a whole bunch of rectangular objects of some variety. I believe the example I saw had dominoes. The most uniform, solid objects I could find were the all-access keys available at scamstuff.com. So imagine you have as many of these as you want. If you started stacking these one on another, you can kind of overhang one a little bit. You stack a little farther, you can overhang even farther. We're at the tipping point.
Right, yeah.
And then
it's over the edge.
And then it's over the edge,
yeah,
right?
Okay.
Now, I would imagine that if you had counterweights or balances to support, there's a number of fascinating constructions you could do. Let's say you can only progress one direction. Everything goes farther and farther to that side. Can you ever get a point where the one on top is ahead of the one below?
Completely in front of.
Completely in front of it.
The one immediately underneath it, or the base?
The base. Now, before you start playing with it, I want to get your theories.
So I think, yes, it is, yes, probably possible.
Probably possible.
It's definitely possible.
All those qualifiers. Wait, you say it's definitely possible?
Definitely
You're
possible.
so
Okay,
much
all
more
right.
confident than I am.
Explain your thinking on this.
Because it's a scam school.
Of course the answer.
You said I had an unlimited number of them, right?
Well, as many as you want, yeah.
Sure. So eventually, even if they're only like 1% of the length over the edge, if I had enough of them,
You gotta think like Brian.
I don't want to.
What would your thinking and what would your strategy be to try this?
You said it wasn't too mathy, but I don't believe you. I mean, it's all about the center of mass.
Yes.
Center of mass of the entire structure above it.
Whoa. Slow down.
The middle.
Whoa, Don Herman. Take it easy.
The middle, Jason.
What are you, Neil Mike Tyson?
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Here you go.
And I'm just
You're
about
just
in front of.
Yeah, keep going, keep going.
So you're not even checking. So see, he's not even looking. I
He's
know.
not
I
looking
know
because
that
he
I'm not even.
knows he's showed us a way that probably
Yeah,
doesn't
no.
work.
See, here's the thing.
He's
I've
guided us
definitely
down the wrong
solved this
path.
problem while I was in college.
Does it have to be a straight line, Brian?
You said one direction.
I know. I can still go one direction and not be going.
Dude, I've already learned not to trust you and your information pumping, watching Brian's face reaction. Can I blow bubbles in the milk, mother? I ain't falling for that again.
So I'm looking at it,
my question.
and I feel like the top one is in front of the very base.
Let me take a photo to show you how spectacularly wrong you are.
Oh, okay. Oh wait. Oh no. Never mind.
Yeah.
There's a divot here. Never mind. So you don't need to show. I don't need to see the photo.
Keep
Next.
it going. Here's
No,
another
I'm
one.
done. Charles, you go for it.
I'm thinking like either a circular pattern.
He said one direction.
That's still going in one direction.
It's not.
You're moving forward.
Let's
You're
let's
moving-
make it polar. Let's go angular on this. All right, fine.
Who am I to say? But, you know, I would trust the math teacher to know how many directions that is.
So is there an answer?
Given a sufficient number
Yes.
of items, you can extend infinitely. All you need is more to stack. We're gonna toast, and when we come back, I'm gonna extend it 2 full lengths out, all the way out there. No back, no support, no nothing. Each one of these will be farther forward than the one before it, and it will be all the way out to here.
I just remembered how to do it.
Well, you're too late!
Too late. Fine.
This is called the book balancing problem. This is all math stuff. I'm gonna assume you know it better than me. The way it goes infinite, if you have just 5 units, whether they're cards, whether they're dominoes, whether they're all access cards available at scamstuff.com, you're able to get 1 full length over. To go 2 full lengths over, you need almost 50. To go 3 lengths over, you need 200 plus. You have to begin with the ending in mind. Part of the scam on this was I started handing them to you one at a time and you worked from the bottom up. That's dumb. But everyone thinks linearly. You have to think geometrically. So we're gonna do the reverse. It's basically the number of units available times 2 as the denominator. If you have 1, it goes halfway over. The second one, that's 2, that's a quarter of the way over. The third one is a 1/6 of the way over, then an 1/8 of the way over, then a 10th of the way over.
Ass.
Right. Here's what matters. Big moves at the top, and as you go down, just know that every single unit down from here can make less and less of a difference. However, each one adds forward. So we already have this much. We're already 1 full length forward, but I said we could go 2 full lengths over.
That's a big box.
Help me out, help me out.
We're gonna need a bigger box.
We originally tried this with cards, and cards were too floppy. Now keep in mind, to go 2 lengths, if everything is arranged perfectly, mathematically, 50 is all you need, but I think we have close to like 80 here. So in this case, top one is the biggest mover. That one will get close to 50%. Here's where it gets a little weird. You have to begin with the ending in mind, getting a little bit lower.
Almost imperceptible.
It's one of those things where it's like, you know, the limit as x approaches
Infinite
infinity.
smallness.
Yeah, exactly. But each one.
So using this
it
in
all
class next
adds
year.
up. Oh, I'm
Definitely
so
happening.
glad to hear that. Well, explain to me what a harmonic
So
series
a harmonic
is.
series is you take the number 1 and you divide it by the successive integers. So you start off with 1 divided by 1, then 1 over 2, 1 over 3, 1 over 4. A lot of periodic motion can be approximated by a harmonic motion. So if you've ever played guitar and you have a guitar string, a harmonic where instead of fretting the string, you touch and just like keep the string from vibrating right there, you get a different semitone. And those harmonics are gonna be in these fractions in this harmonic series. So this is the same thing except it's half every
That's
time.
correct.
So
It is half of a harmonic
Right.
series. Exactly.
That's awesome. Let's not share this to
You get to take credit and use this on your students every year from now on.
I'm just gonna show them this video.
Only it's dubbed over. So anyway, Brian, I think you're using a harmonic progression. You can actually feel the moment that you're sort of maxed out on how far it'll go
Starts to
before
go,
it's-
right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. All right, I need verification. Are we over? Oh yeah, the old Coors measuring stick. According to Coors, we're over! 2 legs! Boo! Now, if there's one thing that became abundantly clear as we practiced with this, is that the number of iterations matter. You could get so much farther out with those thin all-access cards than you could using big blocky decks of cards. In fact, I want you guys to share with me your most impressive builds. What's the best object to use? How tall can you make it? And how far over can you get it to flop? That sounded dirty, but I want you to send me pictures at twitter.com/Schwood, where you and I can be BFFs. And of course, if you want to suggest your favorite bar scam, write me directly at brian@schwood.com. Don't forget to join us next week, because we're going to learn that the only thing more impressive than building towers of cards is drinking a beer and saying, cool story, bro. Now remember, the more impressive this is going to be, the more iterations you need. So in other words, you need to have something thin and long, like my wiener.
What are you, Neil Mike Tyson?
He's got a Starfield background, and he's like, I don't know, some about space.
You're center of math.
And the singularity is where the black hole. How do I phrase this?
Bleeds out scammers.
I gotcha.